Hi, Ebba. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you.
You're so active with those conferences each year.
Yes, actually, yes. That's true.
Great.
How about your works?
It is fine, thank you. I have lots to do, and also I haven't been traveling that much actually this year as usually for different reasons.
Yes.
But I've done a lot of online conferences, really a lot. And I'm
Yes.
working with ICDE, as you know, but it's my last mandate period now, so it will soon end, and I'm really sad for that.
Okay.
It has been amazing. And then I think maybe I told you earlier on, I got two new grandchildren this spring.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, so it's nice. I used to take care of them now and then, so that is also nice.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Let me check. Süleyman, benim şeyimi göremiyorum. Bir daha girip çıksam mı acaba? Süleyman orada mısın? Süleyman, are you there? Sorry, I can't see my
I can see you. I
vision.
can just hear you. You're
Yeah,
black.
yeah.
This
I'm
meeting
fine.
is being recorded.
Yeah. Let me check.
Now I can see you.
Yes. Now it's okay.
Good.
Ebba.
Hello.
Hello, Dr.
Hello.
Gonca.
Good to see you.
Ramesh.
Thank
I
you
think
so
we are
much.
here both of us
Yeah.
each year.
Thanks for BILTEVT, anyway, once in a year.
Yes.
It's a very good special time for us to have you. It is really good for us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you, Ramesh?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. So we will be ready for speech. I think also.
How many participants do you have at the conference this year?
Pardon?
How many participants do you have this year?
Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
When in the morning means little bit earlier, 1 hour, 2 hour earlier, I was joined. So in the hall, it looks like 50, 60 people were sitting in the main hall from where it was live
great.
in person.
Okay, so we will be starting at 6 o'clock Turkish time. I think nowadays it's getting better. People are actually learning about the barrier-free information technology and so on. So it's getting bigger society. So
Yes, you're gaining interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it will be grow when you understand the situation and you understand the need. The people are behaving according to that. Understand.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't know, and you can just face some difficulties and so on as well. Yeah. So. Then let's start. We made the Uğurcan. Merhaba. Hello, Uğurcan.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Merhaba.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, you are in the United States, right?
Yes, California.
California. What time is it at?
It's around 7:53 now, like 8 a.m. in the morning.
Very early in the morning.
And weather is nice. Weather is nice.
Oh, it's been raining nonstop for like 2 days now. So it's a little overcast, rainy, but it's a welcome change. It's been pretty hot this summer.
Then it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy about it.
Okay, okay. So we are all ready for the session. I'll give 15 minutes, then I move to the other speaker. Let's to keep the certain time. I know you can do it. All the speakers are really very good on this. So we have
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yes. So, what time is it in India right now? You are in India, right?
Yes, I'm in New Delhi. It is 8:25 in the evening.
8:25. Yeah.
Yes. So we are 2.5 hours ahead of Turkish time.
Yes, yes. And
So
Ebba,
it,
1 hour, I
Yes,
guess.
it's 1 hour.
Yeah.
We still have the summertime, so 1 hour.
Great, great.
I was just asking earlier because I thought I saw 5 o'clock at Turkish time. So that was I was a bit confused.
I wish we were using the summertime, when 5 years ago we were using it. So, shall we start?
okay.
No, no, no.
Which order do we go?
I think it's better to start with you, Ebba, then Ramesh, and the last because Uğurcan is getting or Uğurcan's subject is the future of accessibility. So
Okay.
it's better to move first start from you, and then Ramesh, and then Uğurcan.
So will I share
Yeah.
the slides myself, or will you do it, or
Uh,
how do you like?
you can share. Yeah,
Yeah, I can do.
these are all give ideas
Yeah.
while
So
you're talking.
the
Yes,
screen, I just checked the screen sharing is allowed. So
is it
yeah,
allowed?
I just checked it is working in my case. I did not share
Yes,
the screen, but I
yes,
just checked
okay.
the window is coming up. So I hope that it will work.
Yes, yes, I believe we can
Yes,
do.
it seems
So,
to
so
too.
Abba, maybe it will be better that you can manage your own slides because you know when to stop, when to
Yeah,
navigate.
yeah. I will do. I was just asking because I also was asked to send it. So
Yeah, that is safe. Sometimes it happens. So
plan B.
that is a good practice.
Yes.
So let me mute myself so that.
I will open the session and then pass to Ebba, and then you, and then finish with Uğurcan. Maybe we can have question and answer parts. Maybe not. I'm not sure. It depends on the time.
We will see. Okay.
Okay. So 3 more minutes. By the way, Ebba, you are never changing. You are the same.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Great. Great grandma.
Thank you.
She practices yoga regularly,
Exactly.
and
Let's
she's an
keep
expert.
me. Let's
She's
keep
an
me
expert in that.
healthy.
Great.
That's a wonderful thing. I
Wonderful.
appreciate that. Yes.
I think my voice is okay, right? You can hear everything. Well, okay. So we are ready. Okay. Distinguished guests, dear colleagues and friends, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the international session of Barrier-Free Information Technology 2025. Today, we gather to discuss how technology can help us build a more inclusive, ethical, and human-centered digital future. The Turkish Barrier Information Technology platform has always reminded us that the technology gains its real meaning only when it's accessible to everyone. This belief brings us together today to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and shape the future of accessibility in the digital world. We are honored to host three distinguished international speakers, each presenting an inspiring perspective on learning technology and inclusion. Professor Dr. Ebba Ossiannilsson from Sweden is going to talk about leadership and learning in the age of AI towards inclusive, ethical, and human-centered transformation. Associated Professor Dr. Ramesh Sharma from India is going to talk about what we lose when education becomes an algorithm. And Uğurcan KUTLUOÐLU from USA, he's Turkish, but working at USA at Oracle, is going to talk about the future of accessibility. Although our speakers represent different parts of the world, they share a common vision to create a digital future that empowers rather than excludes and connects rather than divides. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to our platform, the organizing committee, and all participants for making this event possible. Now, my great honor to invite our first speaker, Professor Ebba Ossiannilsson, to begin this inspiring session. Ebba, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Professor TELLİ, for this nice introduction. And it's my great honor and pleasure to be here together with you today at this annual conference. I have participated for several years by now, and it's always a great pleasure to be here together with you. I will share my screen. This is not so there we go. Can you see it?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, I choose one of my favorite topics for the moment. I'm working very much about leadership and the challenges of leadership in the area of AI. But of course, I'm also working on learning and what is learning about. And this is particular of interest now when we are in this transformation area and transformation situation and paradigm shift, I will say. So this is just briefly about me. My mission is very much about to advocate for inclusive, scalable, and sustainable education, and to contribute to the SDG 4 education for all. And with that, I promote ethical, human-centered AI in education, and my work is very much about support for policymakers, institutions, leaders, and educators globally. And I work mainly at the policy and strategy level. So by that, you know my background, if you haven't met me before. So this means what is the background of foundation, why I will argue what I'm doing to do for this session. So first of all, also about my vision for AI and quality education. We are moving from disruption to transformation. We have to balance opportunities and risks. We have to ensure ethics, equity, and quality, and to build an AI resilient education system and education for all, not leaving anyone behind. And I'm also approaching this very nice approach on planetism, that education is both for the individuals, the persons, the people, but also for the planet, and we need to care about both sides. And about inclusive, scalable, and sustainable education. So first of all, I choose that these pictures because we have to address the elephant in the room. And I think we know who the elephant is. When you meet an elephant in Africa, for example, if you have been there, I have never been there myself, but either you have to, you are maybe escaping, or you are a bit scared, or you are running away, or you are maybe moving towards the elephant and try to understand the elephant's positions as well and to become friends. And I think that is really the approach we have to take in the area of AI. And also why I'm arguing what I'm doing in my presentation. I also, I'm in the board for ICDE. The ICDE is the International Council for Open and Distance Education. And just for this year and for 2028, we have reshaped our strategy. And we have just one-page strategy this year. And that is, the reason for that is that it needs to be communicative, it needs to be understandable for each and every one. You know, no one will read strategies for pages and pages. And we have actually three words which are very important, which I will concentrate on, and also three other building foundations. And the three words are to shape inclusive, scalable, and sustainable education. And we can do that by building a culture of care, curiosity, and challenges. So in case you will not remember the rest of what I'm saying, those 6 words are quite crucial. First, also, we need to think, what is really education about? Education is a human right. Education today is very, very exclusive. Just a few percent have the possibilities to go for education, both primary school, secondary school, and also higher education. It is about democracy. It is about the SDG 4. It is about lifelong learning throughout the lifespan, a lifetime of learning. It is about preparing learners not only to know, but to understand and create and adapt and act responsible. And most of all, to be an active citizen in a global world for themselves, for the society, and for the planet. So I will take go through some examples, and I will also have a few slides on a project I'm working on right now here in the Nordic countries. First of all, also we have to rethink about what UNESCO did already, even before the pandemic, about the new social contract for education. And that goes back again to what is education about? What I just previously was arguing. It is a human right. And that for that, we need to reimagine our future, and we need to do that together. In case you haven't come across this report, it is available in many, many languages. I would really recommend you to do that, because they are questioning what is education and what should education be? Not for the future, because the future started yesterday already. Now when content is available all over the places, we need to have education which really makes sense, which is relevant, which is inclusive, which is not obsolete. And with that, I go back to Albert Einstein, who says that learning is like riding a bike. You need to be on the move all the time to keep the balance. And actually, I asked ChatGPT about, we have this from Dewey, we can't educate today's learners with yesterday's methods for an unknown tomorrow. And the only thing we know about tomorrow, the tomorrow which started yesterday, is that it is unknown. And they come up with some suggestions, as I have here on the left side. And then when I put it together with leadership and learning, I got the reply that education and leadership must evolve for a world shaped by AI, uncertainty and complexity, because that is how we have to face it. OECD is referring to leadership as a challenge. And they said that we need to navigate in this rapid change, disruption, ambiguity with resilience, adaptability, and ethical responsibility, and with innovation, while we are creating a culture that supports care, curiosity, and challenges. And for that, we need to have transparent communication, trust building, and encouraging decision-making, even without full clarity, and to work on and to ensure sustainability, equity, scalability, to drive in complex and unpredictable landscapes. So here again are some of those keywords: balance stability with innovation, to foster a culture of care, curiosity, and challenges. You may recall the three words by now. And with that, we can support people, encourage inquiry, and rethink practices to turn uncertainty into an opportunity, and to lead with ethics, trust, inclusion. And we move from control to empowerment, from efficiency to ethics, from hierarchy to humanity and well-being. We'll say that well-being is actually a quality parameter now, not at least since the COVID-19, because that come very, very clear out that already vulnerable people were really, really in a dilemma. So well-being is a quality parameter nowadays. And we need to move from making change to leading transformation. And we can do this with culture of care, culture and curiosity and culture of challenge. So learners today are co-designers of learning. They are not consumers. They are not we and them. We are learning together, but from different perspectives, and we need to do that together in collaboration. So educators have to facilitate of human AI collaboration, and also the learning environment we need to see as an ecosystem of curiosity and creativity. And that again, how are the learning environments, the spaces designed for empowering learning? It means both the physical spaces, but also the online spaces. And when we go to on-site, we need to do something which really makes sense for the learners, not just to have lectures, not just to have seminars, but to really do things which make sense for networking, collaboration, and living in an international global world, being an active citizen. So we need to have AI literacy for all. That means both technical and ethical and cultural dimensions, for empowerment, agency, and critical awareness, and for democratic participation in the AI area. We need to face the elephant in the room. So AI must serve humanity, not the reverse. And AI for good means that AI that is open, inclusive, and transparent, that is guided by UNESCO and EU frameworks, and also OECD. I didn't put OECD here, but they all put AI for good. That means that it's always the people, the human being in the center, not the technology to drive us, but the people can drive the development of AI. So we also need to have the approach of lifelong learning ecosystem, and learning is lifelong, life-wide, and life-deep. universities today, I will argue, are not prepared for that. They are prepared for bachelor, master, and PhD, and for exclusive population. We need to find flexible pathways for micro-credentials and recognitions of informal learning. Learning is merged with and seamless. Formal learning, informal learning, informal learning, and we need to have collaboration between academia, policy, and civil society, so-called triple helix alliances. They can't work in silos any longer. So we need to have innovation with purpose. We need to do ethical experimentation. Not everything can be ready from the very start. We need to be on the move, as I showed with the picture with Einstein. We need to build trust and resilience because everyone is a leader. We need to be the leader we want to have. And we need to align AI in education with SDG and human well-being approaches. So very brief about this project in the Nordic countries. We have just started. It is funded by the Nordic Council of Ministers, and it is the Nordic region will become the most sustainable and integrated region in the world in 2030. And that is what the Nordic Council ministers are working with. And they are allocating a lot of funding and money and projects on this. Of course, this is nothing maybe special for the Nordic countries, but I will say it is in one way because the Nordic Council minister really put a lot of effort on this in their action plans. So we have just started an Opus project. It's called Lifetime of Learning. And that is a mapping project to map competencies at working places, because much of learning takes place on working places nowadays. And we have chosen healthcare, nurses, not just nurses, but the healthcare sector and the technology sector, because there is what we have seen in the Nordic countries, at least, that there is a huge gap. There is a lot of educated people in those areas, but there is also demands and the work in the labor market that demands maybe other things, and there is a huge gap for that. So actually we have, we'll do this mapping, and we will do interviews and also literature reviews and focus groups. And we actually just have 2 questions. We have the question about, tell us about something you're proud of in terms of competence development in your company. And we are asking this because the only capital we have are the humans, actually. So how does the business, how does those sectors, healthcare and technology, work with the human resources and their competence development? And what would they do if they have the possibilities to change? Then, of course, we have some guided sub-questions as well. But those are the main questions, because this is really, really important. So my last slide is about call for action. Leadership in the age of AI is not about technology, it's about humanity. We have to lead with vision, care, and courage. And remember, each of us are a leader, and be the leader you want to have. And we need to shape education for inclusion, sustainability, and ethical transformation. So I think I have got my 10 minutes by now. Thank you so much. You're muted, Professor TELLİ. You're muted.
It was great. The timing is very good. And now I will pass the microphone to dear Professor Ramesh Sharma about his presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor TELLİ. And I must congratulate Professor Ebba for this wonderful presentation. In fact, there is one sentence in her presentation which I liked very much about AI to serve the humanity, because I remember there is a very fantastic book on Fourth Education Revolution by Sir Anthony Sheldon, the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Southampton in UK. And he has mentioned this point in his book as well, that the AI needs to, serve the humanity, not infantilize. So the education purpose of that. So wonderful,
Yeah.
great presentation.
Actually, before getting you, I also catch a certain point of Ebba's presentation. The AI had a definition of education and leadership must evolve for a world shaped by AI, uncertainty and complexity. So this is an important thing. It's so egoistic. I thought, the AI wants to be the first or the top of the level, but we should teach or keep to teach AI that it would be much better to work together. Another thing, before coming Ramesh, then planetism is important. We are always using sustainability, but we need to keep to learn about that and get all the grades or all the levels about planetism, understand planetism, and then go further. And another thing, communicative and understandable explanation is so important. Even you are in a very big organization, it should be very communicative one and understandable one. So the last one was the life deep learning. Took my attention. How can we learn life deep is so important, especially when we are aging. I think it will be more important to our lives. So sorry, Ramesh, I just remember I want to say something about Ebba's speech. It was great. Now the floor is yours.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
Professor TELLİ and Professor Sharma.
yeah, I agree with your feedback and observations about the presentation by Professor Ebba. Wonderful points she had shared. And now let us continue with the elephant. That's if the elephant now is in the room. Okay, so what do we lose? So how do we manage? Okay, where is? So, okay. Hmm. Imagine there is a student receiving a formal academic integrity violation notice based entirely on an AI detector flag. This happened in this year at a Australian Catholic university. Dozens of students were accused of AI misuse before the university reversed course when errors become clearer. You can make a Google search on robo cheating fiasco in here as I show it to you on the screen, robo cheating fiasco. In essence, a tool meant to protect learning ends up harming it, raising urgent questions about trust, fairness, and what we lose when machines become arbiters. So this is not a fringe problem. It reveals a deeper tension as we rejoice in AI's promise to solve education, then what human dimensions slip away. We have seen around the globe, policies are oscillating. Some school districts in US initially banned generative AI outright, only to backtrack and issue guidelines that permit controlled use with teacher oversight. I know some schools in United Kingdom as well, where they have allowed a school of every day 2 hours the students will be taught using AI. For example, like another in Los Angeles Unified School District. In United Kingdom, the 2025 this year policy advises schools to stress test use of AI in assessments while allowing discretion at local levels. So these pendulum swings reflect deeper uncertainty. Do we clamp down or do we collaborate? Such policy flip-flops cost credibility and show confusion among educators and students alike. Professor Ebba was talking about ICDE and other policies. The EU AI Act offers one of the first substantive legal footholds. It categorizes many AI education tools at high risk, imposing stricter obligations such as transparency, human oversight, ban on certain sensitive inferences like emotion detection. You can see that in the EU Act framework. Meanwhile, UNESCO's evolving guidance urges nations to adopt human-centered guardrails in educational AI use. But most countries still lack robust regulation. It is evolving field, meaning adoption often outpaces accountability. Thus, what decisions are encoded into these systems and who is accountable when they err? One emergent controversy here. Tools that monitor students' messages, browsing, and behavior to flag risks, for example, bullying, self-harm, or off-task activity. So the companies argue these protect student care, but the critics decry them as intrusive surveillance. Another major flashpoint here is AI proctoring. Universities, including Stanford, have recorded complaints from students unfairly flagged, especially from the people belonging to minority backgrounds. Perhaps one can have a look at the Stanford's Faculty Senate report about it. So, bias in face detection is well documented. A study found Proctorio's facial detection failed to detect black faces 57% of the time. This is available in Beyond Surveillance Critic report. So these tools treat students as data points, not full persons, with liability uncertain when they misjudge or harm them. And then EdTech incumbents are trembling. Sheikh, once a major homework help company, saw massive subscriber declines and layoffs this year as students increasingly rely on large language models to solve assignments. The shock to business models is real, but it also invites the question, if the problem AI solves is the student's labor, then what becomes of the pedagogy? On the positive side, controlled studies show personalized AI tutors can rival traditional active learning methods in narrowly defined domains. For example, mathematics drills or language practice. Large platforms like Khan Academy, the Khan Migo, are piloting AI assistant to support teachers, claiming time savings when they capture the rich usage data. But there are limitations. Shallow feedback, overfitting, inability to perceive learner emotional states, ethical complexity, etc. So the promise is real, but the gap between narrow tutoring and rich pedagogy is wide. So consider the minors, the children interacting with open AI chatbots. This year, California vetoed a broad restriction on child AI interaction, but instead introduced stricter disclosure, moderation, and safety rules. China, on the other hand, issued guidelines limiting free access to generative AI for younger learners. So the core ethical test when children engage with algorithmic agents, what consent, coverage, or oversight exists. In India, take the example. The plans are underway to introduce AI literacy beginning from the class 3rd by next year or 2026-27 batch. The news is here on the Times of India newspaper. Yet massive gap persist. Teacher training, infrastructure, language diversity, and rural connectivity. So UNESCO's Asia Pacific reports, they highlight uneven preparedness across the region. Therefore, as my title is there of this presentation, if algorithms become default in education, regions unable to sustain them risk falling behind, rather further behind, not just technologically, but epistemically as well. And behind every smart system is an energy-intensive data center. There is a report by MIT and UNITU, the International Telecommunications Union. They show that AI's carbon and water footprint is rising, especially under training demands. Yet procurement rubrics for educational AI seldom include sustainability criteria. Thus, when we digitize classrooms, we may offload costs to ecological systems and to future generations. There are certain emerging frontiers, like digital twins of learners, virtual student replicas that simulate performance, fatigue, or learning trajectories. So researchers at Stanford use brain imaging and AI to produce twins, exploring mathematical learning disabilities. This can be found in Stanford's digital twin case. And in educational research, AI plus digital twin systems are being tested to augment mentorship, to simulate class interactions, or to experiment pedagogies in synthetic classrooms. So these developments promise scalable experimentation, but they also risk turning real students into data fodder and may collapse the boundary between simulation and intervention. So, what do we not want to lose? One, teacher judgment and relational pedagogy. The tacit, intuitive, moral work of teaching. Then plural epistemologies like local, culture, linguistic way of knowing that don't align with the algorithmic norms. Another thing is student agency and error. The space for messy failure, the curiosity, those things. Then transparency and contestability. There has to be the right to inspect, challenge, override algorithmic decisions. And very important, as Dr. Ebba was also talking about it, sustainability and equity, ensuring environmental and social justice in tech adoption. So institutional commitments, for example, if we talk about, as you can see here on the screen, EU AI Act or UNESCO guidelines, they already align with many of these protections. But unfortunately, the implementation is uneven. So let me close with this thought that adoption without purpose is regression. If AI in education is only about solving problems, we risk erasing what makes education human. So here is the call to action. One, we demand human in the loop design, not human out strategies. Then we need to embed sustainability and equity into AI procurement standards. We require algorithmic transparency, redress, and appeal, and then reinvest in teacher agency and training, and not replacement. So let us use AI not to make education perfect, but to make it more purposeful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was another great presentation. And when you start with this AI at the cheating AI case, it reminds me not only for the cheating AI friendship,
Yes.
keep somebody a student suicide, and now they have a file to OpenAI AI. This came to my mind, and how can so when we move to the other part of your talk, how can we do inclusive surveillance? It is so hard. How it must be another thing to do. It's we cannot do inclusive surveillance in my mind. And of course, the prejudices is so important. You mentioned this black, keeping the to find the black ones and the other whites are not. This is a prejudice, and when the people's prejudices just mirrors the AI. So this means if there is a huge prejudice, people made connection with AI, there will be more that kind of stuff. So the culture is so important, and but anyway, at the end of the day, there's a question come to my mind: why are we afraid of these technologies? There are always solutions. So thank you very much, Ramesh. It was a very fruitful speech. And now I will pass to Uğurcan about this future. According to the situation, what will will we see in the future? Yes, the floor is yours.
Yeah, the future is here. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay. Can someone confirm my screen is being shared?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, visible.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Greetings from a chilly San Francisco morning. Thank you for hosting me. I haven't been able to attend this event for the past 2 years due to personal reasons. And it's truly a pleasure to be back and be a part of this event again. My name is Uğurcan KUTLUOÐLU, and today I'd like to talk to you about the future of accessibility. But before I begin, I need to get this out of the way. Please excuse me, I'm so sorry. The views and opinions I will share in this presentation are entirely my own, and that does not reflect the perspective of the company I work for. I work for a publicly traded company, but nothing in this presentation is relevant to my company's current or future strategy. All right, now that it's out of the way, and I hope my lawyer friends are relieved, let's move on to the presentation. So it is impossible to talk about the future without mentioning some kind of artificial intelligence these days. I'm sure it was the main topic of discussion for many speakers before us, especially in the last 2 or 3 years with ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence has become more or less a part of our work, school, and personal lives. But when we talk about artificial intelligence, most people only think about ChatGPT and other major language models. Yet, the history of artificial intelligence dates back to almost 1950s, and it has been deeply embedded in our lives, especially since the early 2000s. So artificial intelligence has been behind every shutter click on your mobile phone, every email that lands in your spam folder, and every ad and recommendation you see online for the almost 20 years now. So therefore, when we talk about future, we need to consider artificial intelligence more broadly. So artificial intelligence is not ChatGPT. We have classification models. We have text-to-speech, speech-to-text. We have recommendation systems. We have autonomous systems. We have predictive analytics, and so on and so forth. So it's a very broad term. It's not just ChatGPT and the large language models. So also, if you have been around, you may recall once upon a time, Like everything was quantum, quantum this, quantum that. And then we have the Internet of Things, IoT devices. It was all the rage. And, you know, then cloud computing came, the cryptos, the blockchains, the NFTs. And today we found ourselves immersed in the AI trend. Therefore, there is still a bit of dust around, a multitude of products, multitude of manufacturers, and some, you know, and they have some fantastical and sometimes, you know, borderline fraudulent claims. There's also a social aspect to this. We all, you know, inevitably wonder if, you know, one day we're going to lose our job to a robot. And to make predictions about the future, we must first ask ourselves, how can I remain objective while making these predictions? So we need a framework. So there are three fundamental problems when you are predicting the future. So the first and the most obvious one is predicting the future is hard. There are so many variables, and when we try to predict the future with our current value systems, you know, we can blush a little when we read what we have predicted 5 years from now, let alone 50 years. There's also the issue of Luddites, let's say. So I will explain this briefly, but we can basically call it fear or resistance to change. You know, we're lazy creatures, and that's not a bad thing. It's our nature. We don't like things to change too quickly. And finally, the third problem is optimism. So believing the future will be positive, sometimes even fooling ourselves. When we think technological and social change will be very quick, cheap, and easy, you know, that never happens. And if you have any project managers in the audience, I'm sure they will know this best. So the first problem, predicting the future is hard. So on the screen, there is a drawing from the 1920s that is predicting how a classroom is going to look like in the year 2000. And if you look at it, there are rows of students, and there's like a headset over their heads, which is wires coming out of it. And there's like a meat grinder type of machine where the teacher is loading books, and there's another student cranking the wheels, and somehow the contents of the books are transferred to the minds of the students. So that's how, you know, people in 1920s predicted a classroom would look like. So I know it's, you know, it looks ridiculous. And if you look at the science journals published in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, they're hilarious. You know, how they depicted our times. So we're all in our astronaut suits, flying in our cars. You know, it's just didn't happen. Of course, it's easy to look at these now and laugh, but the values and technology of that time made them predict it in such a way. And forget about 100 years ago, let alone, you know, we have some more recent predictions that are also hilarious. So Thomas Watson, the CEO of IBM in 1943 said, there's a market for 5 computers in the world. And the CEO of 20th Century Fox said, the television is not going to be a thing because people are going to be bored from looking at the same box every day. And most famously, Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer said in 2007, there is no way iPhone will get any significant market share. And another inventor in 1955 said, in 10 years, we will have nuclear vacuum cleaners. And another, in 1977, the CEO of Digital Equipment Corporation said, I don't think anyone's going to want a computer in their homes, right? Perfect predictions. So predicting the future is hard. And that brings us to our second problem, Luddites, Luddism. It's a labor movement that emerged in England in the 19th century and opposed the replacement of workers by machines with industrial revolutions. And the participants, they broke the machines, they broke the textile machines. So Luddists weren't opposed to technology entirely, but they didn't want the technology to be used in ways that threatened their livelihoods, which is understandable. But and the movement still serves today as a significant historical example that inspires, the social impact of technological achievements today. So we don't want to be Luddites, right? And sometimes the future is scary and change is inevitable. And, we're not going to grab our axes and visit the nearest data center. So that's not going to happen. But, I say this because when sometimes we oppose the technology, I often ask myself, am I thinking like a Luddite, like at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution? Because today, I don't really see anyone making textile manually. Like, it's all machines now, but the textile industry is still here and there are still textile workers. So I try to frame the problem like that. Of course, this doesn't mean accepting everything. Maybe we should all have a little a Luddite inside us all the time, but of course, without the axe part. And the third part is optimism. So we have a photo of Elon Musk making some predictions about self-driving cars. And since 2016, Elon Musk has said, within 2 years, we're going to have a self-driving cars that will take us from New York to LA without any human intervention. And he's been saying this for 10 years straight, and it's always happening in 2 years. So we love to exaggerate the merits of existing products, especially in the technology sector, but technological advancement is an art that requires incredible amount of money, attention, persuasion. There are things like social changes, sector dynamics, legal and regulatory frameworks, employer-employee dynamics, so on and so forth. So it's hard. Inventing something, marketing something, changing technology is hard. And that's why we need to filter what especially technology leaders are telling us. We have to filter them out because they have a tendency to be overly optimistic. So where do we stand? So we need a framework to weed out, bad future technology from good future technology. So it has to be somewhere in between a Luddite and an optimist. So somewhere in the middle, which I call healthy skepticism. For example, some people claim that artificial intelligence will change the world and everything will be perfect like the world of Star Trek. And there are others who say, we reached the end of AI and there's no more material to feed it. Therefore, it's not learning and its days are numbered because it's a waste of energy and fundamentally an unprofitable sector. So where should we stand? We have to be somewhere in the middle. There are two extremes. So if we're going to be talking about future technologies and predicting future, we have to stay away from both sides. So I know I am very close to overrunning my time limit. So I picked 6 technologies that I think will change accessibility in 5 or 10 years, and by using this framework. So I will be very fast. So the first technology is prosthetics, prosthetic limbs. They were largely mechanical for the past decades, but AI-powered prosthetics can learn how a person walks, runs, grasps objects, and makes these movements much more natural. And one other huge thing about this is two-way communication. We are now experimenting with two-way communication. So not only you can move your limbs and grab objects, things of that nature, it also feeds back information back to your brain. So you can tell whether something is soft or hard or cold or hot, So these prosthetics are going to work in both directions. Let's move on. So the second technology I'm really excited about are driverless cars. Driverless cars and taxis are a reality now. I use them pretty much on a weekly basis. It even remembers my AC settings and my playlist, and they are very good drivers. And they have the potential to significantly improve the lives of people with disabilities by offering unprecedented independence and freedom of movement. But the legal landscape and the technology is still developing. They flee traffic stops, stop in the middle of the road, and police is still trying to determine how to deal with them. And for a disabled person, it is freedom and independence. But when things go awry, for example, if there was a technical malfunction or an accident, you will be on your own. And that is a trade-off. Another thing I'm really excited about is medical diagnosis and treatment. And it's one of the most significant advancements in AI's ability to detect illnesses at very early stages, and sometimes even before the symptoms appear. And AI also helps develop personalized treatment plans. For example, if you have a neurological condition, or you may be using a wheelchair, your treatment is going to be personalized for you, and it's going to, you will respond much better to treatment. So rather than a one-size-fits-all treatment plan, you will get personalized recommendations and a treatment plan based on your circumstances. Another technology I am so excited for are smart homes. So future smart home systems could significantly simplify the lives of people with disabilities. So you can automate pretty much anything in your home. Now you can control your lights, temperature, doors, appliances, without requiring any physical movement. You can use voice assistants to control things in your house. So this is a reality now, and they are cheap. They're accessible, and the ecosystem of products are getting cheaper and cheaper and more accessible and easy to use. Like if you have an appliance that is not smart, that is not connected to anything, you can literally buy a $2 board from AliExpress and connect it to your device and make it a part of your smart home. So there are some incredible advancements in this area. Also, it's a security thing. For example, one use case, maybe like if there's no movement in your house for a while, it can alert your relatives. So you can program these things in any way you want and automate your home, and this will be a significant life improvement, especially for a person with a disability. Number 5 is synaptic interfaces. It is already revolutionizing a lot of things. So the the border between human and machine is getting smaller and smaller. It's getting more faint by the day. So by leveraging machine learning algorithms, these systems can adapt to individuals' neural patterns over time. And you can control a computer, you can control your assistive technology just by thinking. And it is a thing, it is happening. It's in early stages, but there's significant investment in these technologies. There are multiple companies working on this. Some have implants, some have external devices, but it is happening. And finally, assistive tech. In very near future, AI-powered assistive technologies will radically change the lives of people with disabilities. For example, advanced screen readers will now be able to understand websites and apps like a human without the need for a precise HTML code structure or accurate labeling. They will use computer vision and natural language processing. They will guide the user by explaining the content and answering questions about the web page and the layout. We can also do things like, real-time sign language, emotion detection, and other intelligence assistants that will help you interact with web pages and apps. And once this happens, I will be out of a job. And hopefully this will happen soon, and it's a good thing. And I welcome that. And I can't wait for this to happen. All right, well, that was it. My name is Uğurcan KUTLUOÐLU. You can find me on Blue Sky. It's WIZZYFX on Blue Sky, and my email is ugurcank@gmail.com. Thanks again for having me and letting me be a part of this wonderful event.
Thank you, Uğurcan. I think in short, you are also using UGI.
Yeah, Eugene.
Because for the Americans, you need to.
Yeah, they cannot pronounce my name.
Problem maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, thanks for remembering us these innovations are not new. Actually, more than 20 years, maybe more than 50 years, we can say. So this means some of them are fashion and fad. So I remember it reminds me the metaverse.
Oh, yeah.
The people were not ready at that time.
Yeah,
It is a genius thought, metaverse is, we will see metaverse in the future, but when they showed us, the people were not ready for that. So this is important that you show that caricature about approximately 100 years ago, how they put earphones and do something to feed the students' minds. So this is important. And Musk, of course, Elon Musk, important personality. He is the kind of synaptic, very caring for the synaptic interfaces. But AI now is in the fashion, we can say, but there are also some other new things that comes to our mind afterwards. Not only AI also help us for to do that. So it was really awesome, and I think we are almost done. I request your last words, if it is possible, and then close the session. Now I will give the stage again to Ebba. Ebba, are you there?
Yeah, thank you so much. Just maybe some last words from me is that again about the elephant. We have to act, because whatever is coming with AI or other kind of technology, we need to always see what is the part of the humans, the people, and also all technologies. It's made by people for people, so people is always the main resource we have, and so that is one thing. And also the other thing is that, although you were talking very nicely, Uğurcan, about the future, but I will still say the future started yesterday. We can't just put it in forward us all the time. And that is why there is an urgent need and call for action. We, you and me, and everyone need to act. And we all have to collaborate and do this journey together. Togetherness is the key word. I think I will stop there.
Okay, thank you very much. And Ramesh?
Okay. I would like to say that the pedagogical theory which support the digital integration, they should have a special focus on the well-established learning theories like constructivism, connectivism, and experiential learning. So whatever has been proposed by Professor George Siemens for the constructivism, then connectionism by George Siemens, experiential learning by David Cole, etc. They have been time-tested theories. And these theories, they provide the philosophical backbone for the digital pedagogies practices. So we need to integrate and adopt these technologies with a careful mind, and so that we can have a better knowledge construction and student-driven inquiry. Thank you.
Thank you. And Uğurcan?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Let's focus on human interaction, and don't let technology, make us apart from each other. That is unfortunately happening. We are more isolated than ever, more connected than ever, but also more isolated than ever. So yeah, let's keep our humanity.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you first coming and joining this event. Thank you for fruitful details. We don't want this technology be Frankenstein. We want to be a good, beautiful, really helpful one, actually. So we need to try to do that. But we should work with humans. So this is so good to have you. Thank you very much. And I would like to also thank for the audience. They keep listening to us. And thank you for the organizers. And have a very beautiful morning to Uğurcan, and happy evening to Ebba and Ramesh. Have a good time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
See you in the next conference next year.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much for having us. It was a wonderful event.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.